it.
That hurts.
Oh, that was awesome. Retro, do you remember that time that I hit reverse at the start just to troll you, and you were so pissed because we missed the initial parts of the game because of that? I had so much fun doing that. He's like, Seth, we're missing the game, and I'm like, yeah, but we're having fun. I'm still an asshole. Oh goodness, that was fun.
Land battle in a Stalingrad, no less. Interesting.
In a Stalingrad.
It's like the original balance machine.
Hey, Mike. So, I helped Stony before Clan Battle started, with some Patreon replays. And I don't know Yakdiego. Take a look at my list and you tell me. But we covered a few of his replays, and it was a lot of fun going into it. And let's see if he took what I said and learned from it. What do we have on tap? We've got a Gascon, a Giuseppe Verdi, a Novorisk.
Anyways.
Blarg!
Blarg boat. Anyways.
That was like, I don't know if any of you guys watched Saturday Night Live, but that's kind of like, it's kind of like last night, they did Betty White when she was guest host on SNL. And that was back in it was like 2010 or something like that.
Yeah, it was in the 2000s because it was part of that big campaign on Facebook.
And what really sucks is that Betty White passed away a couple of days ago, so rest in peace.
Well, that's why they did it.
Yeah.
And one of the last skits she did was like she was answering the census, and they asked for her name. Tina Fey's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "Blarg and Farg." That was great. That was just awesome.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "What? How do you spell it?" SMITH. That was good.
That's good. Now the Stalingrad, the original balance boats. This thing, I mean, first of all, this thing is larger than some battleships.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Duckman, Mary Tyler Moore. She was in a lot of them good shows.
Mm-hmm.
This is a humongous battle cruiser. It's armed with 9 305mm guns and 3 3-gun turrets, 2 forward, 1 aft. Still some of the most ridiculous guns in the game. 950 meter per second shell velocity, absurdly high penetration, long reach, and the highest Sigma value of any ship in the game at 2.65. It does, of course, have its downsides. It has some fairly weak broadside armor against, very large cruiser, heavy cruiser guns and battleship guns. But when angled, it's pretty difficult to take down. Especially considering that if you angle it properly, you're just going to bounce a lot of shots off of something like because you have 50mm upper belt and deck. So overall,
but not upper bow.
Not the upper bow. The upper bow is 25mm, and this is why, we at Kent don't run a Stalingrad in clan battles. We run a Des Moines instead, because not only is Stalingrad very large, because that nose section is so large. I mean, I play Montana in clan battles. I have chunked a Stalingrad through the nose for like 15,000 damage just because of that.
Yep.
That
I
section.
prefer. If I want something that's more survivable than Stalin, I'll take a Moskva.
Or
personally. Petro's okay. I like Moskva better than Petro. The problem with Petro I have is that the radar doesn't last long enough.
Yeah, and it doesn't fire fast enough, and it's not as accurate.
So, look at the enemy team's lineup. Ohio, Kremlin, Des Moines, Stalingrad, Smolensk, Gearing, Z-52. You're very well suited here to wreck a lot of things with the Stalingrad, assuming you could get the correct angles. So, you're on that far one line. Bergania's okay. Yamato's okay. So, in theory, the three of you should be able to work together to get some broadside shots on ships, but you gotta wait for that to develop here a little bit.
So I actually really like the position you're taking here, because you're angled slightly enough that you're going to bounce the Kremlin shots, and the Stalingrad doesn't have any effective shots on you. Like, take a look. Stalin, okay, he hit you kind of hard because he just overmatched your upper bow, and he did have enough of an angle. But if you were in any other position, you would have taken more damage than you needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shoot the Z, shoot the Z, shoot the Z.
Absolutely. Nice hit there. And you're right. You could have shot the broadside Kremlin. But you know what? It's a Kremlin. In terms of impact, your one salvo is probably not going to have that big of a deal. The Z-52, though, whew, big deal. So that's
Big
good.
deal.
Do
You
I not
pre-K'd him.
have the... Do I not
And
have
honestly,
the... I don't. There's
I
our
wouldn't
radar.
hesitate to switch to high explosive in this scenario,
Hmm.
because the Smolensk is undetected, and so he's most likely behind the islands. What confuses me
So-
though is why anyone would bring the Smolensk into clan battles. I guess just for the volume of fire.
There it is.
But switching,
Uh,
yeah,
I was gonna say you had a good opportunity to use your radar there just to at least tell what the Z-52 is doing. And one thing that I find is that radar kind of acts like a big stoplight to enemy destroyers. As soon as they get detected on radar, they hit the S key 5 times and they just stop. So use that as an opportunity to slow the Z-52 down and prevent him from doing what he's trying to do, which is what you did just there. So that's good.
and the reason why is, of course, if you let the Z-52 push out, he's probably going to spot your Smolens, and what does that leave your Smolens vulnerable to? You have
Everything?
everything. You have 3 Russian ships right there.
Yep. Yep.
And it doesn't matter if it's like a Stalingrad or the Kremlin or the Smolensk. They all have very fast shells. They're going to hit you. So in any case, that Stalin is going to go down pretty quickly because look how much damage he's taking. He got
Yeah.
all about the Yamato.
HE on the
also
Stalingrad, though, would be my recommendation.
I mean, you
Or
could
aim
easily
higher.
Aim higher. Go for the superstructure hits.
Exactly.
Now it looks like the Smolensk is hammering you over the islands. So honestly, I
Mm-hmm.
would just hold position, go dark, and wait for the Smolensk
W.
to move up. Like, wait for the Smolensk to W. Okay, Stalin's dead.
Oh.
That's good.
Hello, Zed.
How are you doing, Mr. Z52? How are we doing?
Aim. No, closer. He was slowing down already. I think they'll miss. Yeah, they missed. Yeah, he was slowing down already, so aim on him or just right behind him. Smolensk was pissing you off. Well, that's his job.
That is Smolensk's job, just to piss people off. Though,
In clan battle, your primary ammo should be HE. Switch to AP as needed, but keep HE loaded 90% of the time.
good radar from the Smolensk. And I like what your Smolensk is doing. He's keeping himself, like, okay, so he's going to take down the Z, hopefully. If he takes down the Z quick enough, he's going to survive the Smolensk because he's going to be undetected.
He did not.
Oh, unfortunate. But now the Smolensk is driven out.
I do not like the fact that your Burgonia is right behind you. As a battleship, he needs to be creating angles, and he's not doing that. So that's an issue of communication, calling, whatever the case may be.
And whatever you do, don't push out. Hold this position. That Kremlin, I mean,
Right.
you could pop your radar just as a vision control tool, just to see where that Kremlin is. Though, frankly
Yep.
speaking, I wouldn't. I'd save it for the Smolensk.
Grunty brings up a good point. If you're gonna shoot AG predominantly, Moscow is the better ship to do that with. I agree with you. And Stony, I like that you remember back when I was talking about that. So if you want to damage destroyers, AP. If you want to break things on destroyers, HE. Perfect.
He should have kept backing up and gone to the other side of the island. Because now you
absolutely.
split up the Burgon
Yes.
Stalingrad on the same
If the-
line.
Right, if
Yeah.
a Burgondian's gonna be there, you have to keep backing up to get to their side. I completely agree with you, Puddin. And hello, Puddin. And hi, Cremoa, by the way. Cheers, everybody.
Alright, so at this point, just based upon the fact that you were spotted, yeah, there we go, Smolensk is out of his smoke. Now, what I'd do here is I'd nose around, and I would try and force the Kremlin to move forward just to tank your shots.
I wouldn't nose
And-
around. I would YOLO charge the Kremlin. Who's gonna stop you at this point? Nobody.
So
And
maybe
if you ram him, who cares? Right?
Who cares?
That's good for your
free-
team.
Yeah, that's a free reign for the Petro and the Borgonia. Both ships are very good at countering the Smolensk, just through sheer
Exactly.
volume of fire or radar.
But the other thing is, look, the Petro's got the complete broadside of the Kremlin too. So yeah, I would push out, become a force. Worst
Use the
case
Russian
scenario, like, say,
torpedo.
just ram them. But the Petro's cut aside, so like, who's he gonna go broadside to?
It's either
Yep.
you or the Petro. So now the Kremlin's moving forward because now the Borgonia is being really annoying because he's loaded the high explosive, and he's charging him. So yeah, take a look at that. The Petro gets free shots into that Kremlin's broadside. Now, honestly, I actually agree with the Petro's positioning here. Like, I don't know who the shot caller for your match is, but he's staying behind the island, which means he's not giving himself up to the Ohio, and he's still able to deal a considerable amount of damage to that Kremlin.
Yes. Yes, that's a great spot to be in.
So the moment the Kremlin goes down, he can go silent. Oh, Borgonia's calling this one. Okay. So,
Yep.
honestly, the moment that Kremlin dies, your Petro can go forward, and he can reposition himself quietly into a position where he can take care of the Smolensk.
The Burgon is calling it. Okay. So if the Burgon is calling it, I would have liked to have seen him tell you to go to the other side of the island, right? Or some sort of, like, angle creation. But regardless, I mean, you took out the Kremlin. You've pretty much... Oh, nice Citadel. You've pretty much taken this flank. Burgoniev going to die because he's shot.
Yeah. Borgonia's
Oh,
got
well.
shot up. Now, at this point, I would be looking to push into that Smolensk, go silent, push into the Smolensk. That Ohio and the what's left, the Des Moines Smolensk, the Ohio and the Des Moines are very far away. So the moment you go quiet, that Smolensk can't spot you because he's in smoke.
Can we take a moment to highlight the fact that we are now more than halfway through this battle and we have not seen the gearing yet? I'm pretty sure he's on the other side of the match, but...
I would agree to keep pushing into the Smolensk, but blind shoot him, because just let the Petro make sure the Smolensk can't spot him, and then if the gearing is in the area, the gearing is going to get pushed back also, while the Petro gets the cap.
So the fact that we haven't seen torpedoes at all makes me feel that the gearing's on the other side, and sure enough, he is on the other side of the map.
Yeah, because you just got spotted. So,
yeah.
Last second secure. Oh, that just brings your team right back in the game. So the moment you cap this, and the gearing kills the enemy gearing too, so you're back in this. Because you were just about to lose on points. The enemy team had 989 points just a couple of minutes ago.
Yes.
Now you pull back 2 kills and you're securing this A cap. So honestly, at this point, what I'd do is I would navigate from the A cap. The Petro probably would go into that gap just to face tank the Ohio a bit.
I turn due north.
Yeah, wait, would you send both due north? Or
no, I would send the Stalingrad due north. Petro can stay in mid. That's fine, but it's too late now. You're gonna be detected by the Ohio. But I would have turned due north a lot earlier just to make sure that I stay out of detection range. Because to me, that's the biggest concern is I don't want to be detected. I don't want the Ohio to slap me.
And that's actually another one of Stalingrad's weaknesses, is the very, very large detection range. Stalingrad does have the largest detection range of all Tier 10 cruisers at 14.2 kilometers. And what that means is, like, you have concealment on par with some battleships. Like, you have the same...
And Stony. Nice.
So, what I was saying is, you have the same concealment as something like a Yamato or, like, what have you. So, if you want to play, like, if you want to put yourself in these positions where you can take advantage of cross shots without getting slapped in the face first, it's better to take a line that would allow you to get into that position while being undetected.
Oh, nice hit on that Des Moines. That causes... Look at that score, 999 on the enemy team. They almost won it, and you took it away from them, you dirty, dirty person.
Oh, that was a close shave.
What a close match. And because of that, you're going to win on points, assuming the Ohio doesn't kill you. He's backing up. It's going to be hard for him to hit you at this point. I'm surprised you're detected, frankly, but okay. And that's it, you win. What a game.
Oh, that was beautiful. So many close calls.
I'm just saying he should have went to the northern side of that island to keep shooting at the Des Moines.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, because points were so low. But more importantly, the Venezia all the way out at the 9 line at this point in the game, he should have been charging that cap way earlier when you get these points this close, right? Just to stall the cap, right? It also gives the Ohio something else to be concerned about. And, you know,
Yeah.
if he's got a smoke left, he just smokes up, right? Just to delay the cap.
Yep. The DM absolutely just misplayed. And that's unfortunate. But hey, it's clan battles, and you look for those opportunities to get back into the game. That's what makes the game so fun and crazy. And I think it's time for some stream elements here.